My girlfriend said, "We need a break to see if we miss each other." I replied, "I understand." What she didn't know was that I'd been planning to propose next week. The ring was already hidden in my sock drawer, a vintage emerald cut that cost me 3 months' salary. I talked to her dad over beers at his favorite sports bar, booked our anniversary restaurant for Valentine's Day, even practiced the speech in my car during lunch breaks like a complete idiot. But when Lisa sat me down that Tuesday night, her face all serious and uncomfortable, talking about needing space to grow as individuals and finding ourselves, I just nodded calmly. "Take all the time you need," I said, watching her fidget nervously with that silver bracelet I bought her last Christmas. She looked genuinely confused by how calm I was staying. Probably expected me to beg, cry, make some desperate emotional speech about our 4 years together and all our future plans. Instead, I helped her pack her overnight bag, even folded her clothes neatly. The whole time, she kept glancing at me like she was waiting for me to break down. The next morning, first thing, I walked straight into the jewelry store downtown and returned the ring. $2,000 back in my account, just like that. The jeweler looked sympathetic but didn't ask questions. Then I did something completely insane. I bought a one-way ticket to Tokyo, leaving in 10 days. I'd always dreamed of teaching English in Japan since college, but Lisa absolutely hated the idea whenever I brought it up. Called it running away from real adult responsibility and said I was being childish and unrealistic. She had our whole life mapped out. House in the suburbs, 2 kids, white picket fence, the worst. 2 weeks later, I was standing in Shibuya, crossing with one suitcase and absolutely terrible Japanese. Found a tiny teaching job at a conversation school in Akihabara. Rented a shoebox apartment with paper thin walls. Started learning the language from complete scratch using phone apps and YouTube videos. For the first time in years, life felt electric and unpredictable. Every single day was an adventure. Meanwhile, my buddy Jake kept me updated on Lisa's journey of self-discovery through social media. She was posting thirst traps daily on Instagram, hitting different trendy bars every weekend with her girlfriends, clearly living her absolute best single life. According to Jake, she kept casually asking mutual friends if I was doing okay and seemed genuinely shocked that I'd actually left the country for real. Month 3, my Japanese was finally good enough to have actual real conversations beyond ordering food. That's when I met Yuki at a language exchange meetup in a tiny cafe tucked away in Harajuku. She was studying international business at Watada University, spoke absolutely perfect English, and had this incredibly infectious laugh that made my chest feel tight. We started meeting twice a week to practice languages, but really we were just falling head over heels for each other. One random Thursday morning, while Yuki and I were sharing convenience store coffee and those weird, fluffy pancakes, my phone absolutely exploded with notification after notification. I made a huge mistake. I missed so much it hurts. This break was the stupidest idea ever. Can you please come home? I need you back in my life. Then another message. I saw Jake post about Japan on his story. Are you seriously teaching little kids now? This whole thing is ridiculous. And another. Answer me right now. We need to talk about this properly. You can't just ignore me forever. I screenshot all the messages and showed them to Yuki, who read through them carefully with raised eyebrows, then burst out laughing so hard she nearly spit out her coffee. Tell her you found someone who doesn't need breaks to figure out what she wants, she said in perfect English, playfully stealing a bite of my pancake with her chopsticks. So I sent back exactly that. I found someone who doesn't need breaks to know what she wants. Hope you eventually find what you're looking for. Lisa's response came back within literally 2 minutes. Japan was always a completely stupid idea anyway. You're throwing your entire life away for some ridiculous fantasy that won't last. I showed Yuki the bitter message. She just smiled sweetly and said, "Should we tell her about our engagement party next month?" We both started laughing so hard the convenience store clerk started giving us really weird looks.